What's going on, guys? It's Noah here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a very cool one for you. Today we have stumbled upon an abandoned train caboose that is sitting in the middle of the forest. Now, this train caboose was owned by a famous Canadian author and historian. He wrote books and made television programs that basically taught the younger generation about how trains helped build Canada and made this country what it is. So it's not really super surprising that he also has an actual train caboose sitting in his backyard. It is just buried kind of in the middle of the woods. There's no real logical reason why it's here other than he just wanted it. It's a 1940s caboose. It's for the crew, so it would have been sitting at the back of the actual locomotive. And there's a tower at the top that the crew would have sat in and made sure that the train and everything was operating properly and monitoring it basically. So it's a very interesting piece of history. It's even sitting on tracks. So without further ado, let's go check this one out because I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. Okay guys, so we're gonna start looking at the outside of this train. It's very interesting that they have the tracks. I've seen a few abandoned train cars in my days exploring. I've never filmed one before, but I've never seen one sitting on actual tracks. So when they put this train car here, they must have come with cranes or something and installed it onto the tracks once they were laid. I would assume at the time this wasn't so forested in as it is now. You gotta remember, this came here in about, it was decommissioned what, like 1982 probably, and he got it at some point after that. So it's been sitting in this forest for about 35 to 40 years. It's very cool how it still has all the locks, the hoses for the hydraulics, if that's what that's for. It's an absolute beautiful piece of train history and CP rail history, and it probably should be sitting in a museum, but it's sitting in some guy's backyard. Look at the size of those. So the train itself was actually constructed out of wood, at least the outside of it. So these kind of train cabooses started running in about the 1800s, and then they discontinued the use of them in the 1980s. So this one was basically freshly decommissioned, and now it's sitting here. And if you want to look up some of the history about this train, you can use the actual number on the side of it. If you can't read it, it says CP 437059. I know it's a train caboose, but it's very cool to see how big those wheels are on these things. It's not every day you get to really walk up close to one of these, at least for me. That is true. It is very interesting. Leaf spring suspension.
It's crazy how that's done.
They're not built like they were, or they are now, I don't think. I like the fact that there's a railing here for whatever reason. Now, I do want to make clear that I am no train aficionado, so I may not know exactly what everything on this train caboose is, but if you do know, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. If I say anything wrong about it, feel free to correct me, because really this isn't my expertise, obviously. So if you have any information that maybe I don't, I'd love to hear it. So we're gonna continue up the hill here. See if we can get another vantage point of the other side of the train. It did just freshly snow. It is very interesting that the exterior of the train is made from wood. That's definitely not something you'd see nowadays. So It's kind of an interesting little cork it has. So from here I can give you a better look at the little lookout tower that the crew would have sat up inside. We'll get a better look when we're inside, but they would have sat up there with the windows for 360-degree view so they could actually monitor the train if there's any issues. But this side of the train is much of the same, so I think we should head inside. Not sure what this would have been for. It is turning some chain. Not sure if it's even connected anymore, but. And then there's the hook or the lock for the other caboose or carts to connect to this one. Wow, this is so cool. So this right here, after you enter in from the door, this would have been the crew's area. This is the lookout tower that this caboose had. So the crew would sit up there. They have a 360-degree view of the track and the train to see what's happening, so they could inform the conductor if there's any issues or problems with the train or the track. So that was their job during these trips, and this caboose also doubled as sleeping quarters and the conductor's office at the time. This would have held the oil tank in here. Some emergency bedding. Get it unlocked. So just as I kind of thought, just some storage for the bedding needs. You do have the ladders right here that would let you get to the top. Put them on both sides, obviously. And guys, it's a very tight squeeze. Like, I can just barely put my arms out. That's how much space you have. Like, they're on both sides. So it's a very small little walkway. Continuing through, we do have a couple more storage areas. I don't really know what this is for. It's like caged inside, so if maybe they're transporting an animal or something to stay in there. Possibly. Wow, this door is heavy. It's very thick. Like, it's very chunky. Maybe this was insulated. But it seems like it was just another storage area. Then we have this right here. This looks like a closet for the crew's clothes. Maybe some cleaning supplies. All very possible. Then of course, if you're on a train like this, you need somewhere to go to the bathroom, so it does have a toilet built in. Most likely just like a compostable toilet. Don't know if there's anything in it. Don't know if it even works. It's seized. But they're saying here, don't put paper in the toilet. It has to be emptied by hand. So it's for emergencies. So they would try not to use it. But actually no, sorry, this is for the house. They're telling the people here, go to the house to the bathroom or the bushes. Don't use the one in the train. That's fair. You wouldn't want to have to empty this by hand. Even still, on the train, this was probably still for more emergencies than anything. Then here we have some more storage space. Got a breaker box. That was probably added afterwards. Maybe not though. And a little bit of storage down here. The crew would have had to climb up these little itty bitty ladders to get to the top of the viewing tower. So, get up there. Wow, this is really difficult. Alright. So you have to get all the way up to here, and now you have a great view of, you know, everything regarding to the train. So I'll show you what I mean. Once you're situated up here, you basically have truly a 360-degree view. So you can look at all these windows. Like I can see the train. I'd be able to see the full train for miles. You can see everything up here. It's like the, this probably won't make sense to everybody, but when you sit at the top of the GO train, going to Toronto, that's what it's like when you have like a double-decker train car. That's what it feels like up here. So very interesting. It's very cool, and I guess it must have worked if they used it for like, you know, almost 100 and 180 years at that point. Yeah, 180 years, this style of caboose. And it looks like the windows even open too. Not these ones, but those ones over there look like they open. They would have had fire extinguishers to the side of them. Some other stuff over there, which is very, very cool. You can see you could pull the cord again to let them know. These windows do open somehow, I'm just not 100% sure. And these ones slide. It's like this. Slides, yep, slides open. So you can even have fresh air while going on the train. That's pretty wild. That's not something you see every day. So that's very cool. Close that so this train doesn't get ruined. And if you wanted to, you could just step across to the other side. Oh, check this out. This is cool. So something up here I noticed, guys, is it says BC 1979. I just think it's so cool to think that somebody in 1979 was sitting here scratching that into this while watching probably one of like the most beautiful landscapes they've ever seen. That's just so cool to me. That's a really cool little piece of history in my mind. You can see the smokestack. And you can see outside. So this is what their view would have been. You get this 360-degree panoramic view. That one doesn't open, apparently, which is okay. You can see out the back, which is very cool. Fire extinguisher would have gone right there. Little light. And then I'm not sure what would have gone right here, but it looks like it would have held something tubular. But yeah, it was quite the view up here. At least they were decently comfortable seats. I just can't get over the fact though that opens up. Let's just make our way down. Sorry if this is a lot of crotch. That's so cool. I love this place. This is so cool. Now exiting crew area, this would have been the conductor's office, a sleeping area, probably an area that they could make themselves some food. They got a little sink, but no faucet, which doesn't really surprise me. Do got some storage area here. The other thing we must consider while exploring this is that this could have been converted completely as opposed to what it was originally. So a lot of this stuff may not be original to the train at this point. I believe the owner converted it into a cabin and their nieces, their nephews, their kids, friends could stay in here, have sleepovers, camp. They could do whatever they wanted to in here. It was just a hangout place more than anything. I don't think it was supposed to be left as like a historical piece of CP rail history. I think it was just converted into everyday use for this family. I think that theory holds because we actually have the tiles here that was used right here. This doesn't look like this was original to the caboose itself. Probably added this in so they could stay here in the winter if they wanted to camp out. This is very cool too. This probably would have been to notify the conductor by bell that there was an issue. There's probably a desk there or a couch or something like that. Got some bricks. It's weird. Then this just goes straight under the train, most likely. So we do have a pull-out bed and then another couch or bed, whatever you would like to call it. I think this was definitely supposed to be a pull-out bed though, for sure. Let's see if we can pull it out. This is not coming out very easy. Not very stable now, is it? That would have been most likely what this is for. You spread it out and then you have a bed. I got it to work kind of. It's very unstable. It's probably missing some stuff. But as a place to just sleep, just kick it up. There you go. Good to go. It's long enough too. Then you got your little reading light, everything like that. So in my mind, this is more than comfortable enough to stay on over your trip. Now obviously we have this other bed here that's already laid out. Could definitely be using this as a sleeping quarters too. But it's interesting to know that that one actually does pull out. And these two lamps are here. So it says right here too. Conductor via conductor. So that's cool. So they're using it on a via train at some point. And that makes us go to the other end of the train, which is very similar to the front side. We also got one of these here for whatever it's used for. This one's very stiff though. We got a very cold Greg.
Very cold.
And that would have been your train experience. That's the end of the Explorer. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This place was absolutely awesome. This abandoned 1940s caboose in the middle of the woods. Who would have thought? It's just sitting here, rotting away. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, share it, subscribe, drop a comment down below, tell me what you thought of the place. And with that, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. We're at the train car, and I have a whole problem. I kind of flew the drone into a tree. By accident, it kind of drifted to the tree, and now it's stuck like way up in the tree. Like it's like right there. So Brad is trying to hit it out with a stick.
I had like a 20-foot stick, but I was still
like 6 feet off. So.
Oh, the light's back on.
Yeah, she's high. She's high up. I think she's broken too. The only way I can see logically getting it is if we got in this tree at the top there, like we sat up in there and then poked it with that same stick. It's one of those things too that we have no choice, like we have to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be got. Too bad I don't have my work boots on. Yeah, there it is. Could you flip it and pass it the other way?
Yep.
It's hard to get a 20-foot stick through trees.
Yeah, you're telling me, bro.
Come on. Heavy branch to be swinging around.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I can get that now. Oh man.
Blades are gone for sure.
It's fine.
The arm's still there? It's just bent up? Oh, thank God. I thought that arm was gone.
Oh, I know, I got one broken blade.
You got extra blades.
I do. Those ones are okay. Those ones are okay. And that one's broken. So I got 2 broken blades. But.
Oh, it's still moving too.
The lens might be scratched. you.